What's good, y'all? Resident Create Williams here, aka the Future Planner. Now, what I want to talk to you about in this video is the difference between starting a local business and starting a business that's global. Okay, here's the thing: most people that I know that I run into, they would start up a business and say, "Hey, man, I want to take this. I want to start up maybe like, let's say, for example, I want to start my own restaurant." That's what they'll say. Okay, what they'll do is they'll start their own restaurant. But the thing is that they got to come up with the startup money, and then they have to brand that restaurant from scratch versus going out starting a restaurant that's already been branded, like a Wendy's or a Ryan's or a Chili's or something like that. Chain, any kind of chain restaurant, or some type of Walmart or something like that, some type of convenience store or super shopping center, something like that. Okay, here's the thing. Either way it go, when you're starting something that's local, you only can make so much money. Now you can make good money, but you're still limiting yourself because what you're doing is you're just putting it in one localized spot. So you might make, you probably could make like $200-300 a year, just depending on what kind of brand or what kind of business you start. Now, if for in the first, usually within, when you're building a brand like that, usually within most people that I've seen in their first 2 years, they usually end up having to shut down or they have to close down and move. The reason why is because they may not have enough money to survive some of the mistakes that they have made while they're learning or they're building their brand. So a lot of times it's gonna cost you, some people might sue and stuff like that. But the thing is that you're starting a local business, you still gotta come up with the startup money. So you might, you might have trouble getting a loan from the bank or something like that. And even if you do, like I said, once you start that up and you lose it, it's gonna be like you failed and you don't know where you messed up at, something like that. So that kills a lot of people, excuse me. It kind of kill a lot of people. So the thing is that most of the time when people start a global business, they're online. You can reach a whole lot more people than you can locally. Locally, you're only in a centralized location, meaning that you're only going to have so many people. But when you're global, you can have as many people as you want because you're reaching the whole world by storm. Most people who are individual people don't think that they don't believe in you can they don't believe that they can do that. So at one point I didn't think I could do that. I didn't think that I could just reach a whole I knew I could reach a whole lot of people online, but I didn't think that I could run a business, independent business, actually a legal hustle or a legal business, just online like that. I didn't think that I can just make income like that. So here's the thing. In my opinion, everyone should start a globalized business. And you can basically sell anything. You can build your own e-commerce site. You can brand your own t-shirts. You can brand your own food store or whatever. I mean, people can still order online and you can deliver or send your packages or send your food, whatever, to people all over the world. They do this every single day. Walmart, Sam's Clubs, people that be having like frozen foods, they send that stuff in a food truck. You can have your stuff delivered to a Walmart or something like that. Or anything that has frozen food, you can have it shipped in an airplane or something like that. Because I know this because I used to work at the airlines. So we used to ship food all the time. So I know they can do this. They ship frozen food in the airlines and then they put it on a frozen truck and then they deliver it to that store. You can do this from home without you having to put stock or have your stuff stocked or anything. Me personally, I like the lazy way. I like it to where like I don't have to keep nothing in my home. I don't have to go out and try to beg people to buy my products. I like to just run traffic and get in touch with people all over the world. And then once they order my product, I just basically can ship it off online. I do every single thing online. Now, I'm going to show you an example of how you can reach a whole lot of people. What I do is like basically like this is one of the ways I will make money from home. What I do is I create a lot of fan pages, okay, just to see what people like out there. And this is basically like, you can say this is almost like a survey, because your fan pages, once you send out your, let's go to like my pets fan pages. Okay, I'm basically targeting people who like pets. And people who like pets, now, as you can see right here, I already have like 2,000, over 2,000 people that like my pages. You see what I'm saying? And this week alone, I've already reached 129 people, just this week. Now, as you can see right here, these are how many visitors that I am reaching. Basically I reach like for example, 489 people reached, people are sharing my pages and everything like that. These are my potential customers. So in order for you to be able to sell something, you got to reach the customers. But you want to target people who like your page. See, like this right here, 109 people reached. Right here, 261 people reached. And like 35 people like this, people are sharing my pages. This is how I usually keep in touch and give the people what they want. So keep them kind of humored, keep them occupied and everything like that. And you got, like, I have a total this week just alone, just 322 people engaging on my pages. And if they're engaging, basically they really like what I have to say, or they like my post, or they might be interested in what I'm selling. So right here, once I put a product right here, if they don't, whether they buy my product or not, I'm still capturing them as a lead, because they might not buy the one product that I'm advertising, but they might buy another product that I advertise, because I've already built that relationship with them. You see what I'm saying? Now, let's go to my, matter of fact, let's go to my ads manager. So, and this is just how many people I reached alone. This ain't counting, me running ads. Because usually I run advertisements so I can reach people a whole lot quicker. Because, once you run advertisement to people all over the world, global, there's nowhere in the world that you could not miss making sales. You can basically make all kind of sales. And I mean, I do it all the time. See, like, look, like right here. I've advertised a shirt right here. 2,000 people reached. 2,000 right here, 3,000 right here. I mean, I'm reaching a lot of people, and I'm doing it for less, less cost, like 5 cents, 7 cents, 16 cents. Usually if 16 cents, I usually stop running. But the point that I'm making is that I'm reaching a lot of people with what I have, to offer. So that's the reason why I'm like, it's real cool with me. I mean, I don't care I don't care how, how bad it is over here. I'm still reaching a lot of people. So I've actually reached more than this. I just hadn't ran the ads in a while. So, but anyway, moving on. This is another reason why I say I would rather be online, because all of these people right here, look, I sold 114 total, which is got me like $918 in profit, all profit, except for when PayPal take their fees out, which is like $1.50 something. But I still made all this in profit. Now I could have chosen to send it to my banking account, but I just chose it to separate it from my account. Now I'm selling all these right here, and I have not even seen nor met my customers, but they all have met me, because what I would do is I would usually build a relationship with them with my autoresponder, which is my email list. So I've already introduced myself. I already showed a picture of who I am, so they'll know who they're buying from. So like I said, I've never seen these people before, but they've seen me. And when you get a global business, you can do this from home. You can do this from anywhere. And you can consistently get, let's go to, you can consistently get paid so much money, like just like the businesses receive payments in their business banking accounts and everything like that. you can do the same thing. You just got to know how to do it. So let's just go back from, let's go like, I say about like 2013. Let's do that. And we going to view it right here. You see all these payments that I've made, that I've had come into my account? You can do this as well. So the point that I'm making is that you can make these kind of, you can have these kind of payments coming into your banking account, as many times as you want. You can constantly keep building and building and building and building and building. So every time you build a page, I mean, anytime you're making money, I mean, you're doing this global instead of doing it local. See, locally, you have to go and check on your business. You have to go and commute. You got to go through traffic. Or if you get a job, you have to go through traffic. You got to burn gas. And then even if you're having a job, you're paying the highest percentages in taxes, which is killing everybody. But if you got a part-time business or a full-time business, you get the benefits. The government gives you benefits of, you don't have to worry about, I mean, you get tax benefits to where like you don't have to pay but 10% to zero taxes, if any. You can write all those taxes off and get all that back versus you going to a job that's going to enslave you and keep you working forever. See, when you got a job, you're basically localized. I know I'm getting out the subject for, it's for like in a business or whatever, but when you have a job, you're basically putting a cap on how much you can make. You're putting a limit of whatever you can do, because they tell you what you can do, what you can't do. Then they tell you how much you can make. They tell you when you can take a vacation. They tell you how many days you can call in sick. And if you don't abide by those rules, they fire you. But in the real world of business, the only way you fired is if you quit. And that's the only way you get fired from your business. If you quit. But you can constantly, consistently keep making money, and just build up to a full time and make as much money as you want to, whenever you want to. All you have to do is just keep on adding zeros to those dollars that you make. So the more you build your list, the more people that will buy from you, especially when you build a relationship with you. The more they'll buy from you, and then they'll refer you to other people. And once they refer you to other people, then you basically can, I mean, like I said, you can grow your business. You don't have a cap on how much you can make. You don't have that. So that's why I tell people all the time, I mean, look, just because, you got a job, that don't mean you have to be enslaved to them. I mean, you start your own business, live your own life. That's why I tell people all the time. That's what I mean by when I tell people, make plans for your life. Don't let life make plans for you. See, a lot of times life make plans for other people. So life will make plans for you. For example, your job is making plans for you to be able to work whenever they want you to work. They're controlling your life. You see what I'm saying? They're basically controlling your life, and then you won't be able to see your kids much because you're working like 12-hour shifts. And then by the time you get home, your kids you want to help your kids with your homework, but you're too tired, and you really want to cook, but you're too tired to do that. And then if you're a single parent like me, you really got a challenge. You really got it tough. So that's why I tell people, try to start a try to start a global online business, part time, where you can work like an hour, maybe 2 hours a day on the computer and you're finished. Versus trying to start a online business. I mean, trying to start a localized business, trying to come up with the money and try to figure out how I'm gonna get a loan. And especially if you got bad credit and you don't have enough money to start it up, you won't be able to start it up anyway. So that's why I say start a part-time business online. It's a whole lot cheaper. Whole lot cheaper. You can start with maybe for free. But if you want to get the best, results online, it's best that you hire a private tutor. That way they can walk you step by step, creating the process and start growing your business. Okay, that's basically it. I hope I gave you some value. Remember, make plans for your life. Don't let life make plans for you. Reginald IQ8 Williams, y'all. Peace.